Well, they don't make Champions League ties much bigger than this. We have got some real tasty tests against the best teams in Europe as we have reached the group stage. And today we're coming up to the first of them with one hell of an away trip back to England. Yes, hello and welcome along to part 152 of this Build a Nation story, Lifting Spirits with me, Daniel. We are back today following a perfect start to the season with a big game away at second place Warrenpoint. They're unbeaten so far. We also go away to Manchester United in what might just pip the former as the biggest game of the episode. So hopefully you're looking forward to that. We'll see the other group stage ties we've got because they are going to be very, very important. And hopefully we can pick up some points this year and find our way through in some guys. We'll also have a look at what happened to the other sides in Europe and the end of the Irish Premiership transfer window. So if you're looking forward to all of that, please do put a thumbs up on the video. A shout out to HelloFresh who continue to support us all month. Link near the top of the description for them. But let's go straight over to the transfer centre and see what's been happening for us and for other teams at the end of August. Well, first things first, it's been a quiet end to the August transfer window, but we did, as promised, make the signing of the Croatian youngster at the end of the transfer window. Nenad Paleka came in after we secured our Champions League place, and he's a very good youngster. He'll come back after a further season on loan there, so he'll come back just in time to do his 3 years of homegrown development. But he can play off the left, right or number 10. And to be honest, I don't really see him as ever being the central striker. So it might be that he replaces Vladimir if we can't keep him, or Cowan if we sell him the summer after. But either way, a very good player to add to the ranks. It's just the transfer fee that's an issue. But we're now paying a premium for players who are going to be either homegrown in the nation, like McGuckin, or players who will be in the future, like Paleka. So that's the big deal at the end of this summer. A few others went out on loan, but nothing really of great note. But let's have a look at what's happened elsewhere in the nation, because there have been a few deals, but if I'm honest, it was a slightly underwhelming finish, partly due to what happened in Europe. We have a look at the transfers at the end of the window. Coleraine bought Samindu Puate, who we played against last episode. He came on loan from TNS. Michael Connolly is a youngster from Larne who Linfield poached. They're getting quite good at doing that in fairness. And then Mark Hutcham, probably the star of the window in the end, went on loan from Tottenham Hotspur to Larne. He is a very good 18-year-old defensive midfielder, but probably isn't at the level we used to see in Larne sign players. So since Linfield's big signing a few weeks ago, no real big ones towards the end of the window. Still a few players coming over from the likes of English clubs, but they're generally Irish or Northern Irish players, but when you consider Ballymena were bottom half last year, it's a pretty good level of player to bring in. That's sort of what Linfield had at the start of this save, to give it a bit of perspective. So I'm pleased with where the nation's at, but it could have been better in Europe. There's no lie about it. We know that the two boys that were left had very big draws. So Coleraine, they played against Antwerp and were beaten very handsomely, 6-1 on aggregate. And then if we go and have a look at Larne as well, probably a slightly better effort in fairness, but lost both legs by 2-1 against Rennes. They have got a few stars, but they're not quite the same side they were. And not finishing third has really cost them this year because they could have made the groups. Linfield, though, have continued to impress. They did beat Bromby over 2 legs, and they are now into the Europa League group stage rather than Europa Conference. And that means, well, probably less points in all honesty. They've got a horrid group. Karabag at home, yes, a winnable game, but Roma away, Montpellier away, Hanover away, Monaco and Leipzig. I mean, it's not great, is it? The only winnable games, really, they got Wolves at home at the end too. Is Breidablik at home and Karabag at home. They have to be 6 points, and then they try and nick another home win to sneak through, maybe. That's the only way I see them doing it. So it might have even been better if they dropped into the Conference League. We have seen that before. And of course, they did win it a couple of years ago, so fingers crossed they can do all right. But that is where we stand at the moment. Just 2 teams in the group stages again. That is a slight backwards turn from where we were a few years back. But we're keeping the coefficient up between us and Linfield. And I've got a feeling we're going to have to do most of the work for it this year. So hopefully we can find a way through. So that's the transfer window and Europe covered. Let's go and get into our 2 big games. And we start with a game against Warrenpoint, who have started the season pretty well. We go through to the fixtures. We have been in pretty good nick ourselves. We started the season with 3 big wins in a league, and we've started with a couple of cup wins since as well. So you were with me for the 4-1 against TNS. We of course beat Ballymena prior to that. We then won 7-1 away at Carrick Rangers. It was Morgan Griffiths with a brace, Jordan Howard the same, Missalidis, Houston and Caulfield, the youngster coming back in with one apiece. Against Ballina Millard, a 6-1 win, 4 for Mark Scully, 1 each for Cowan and Missalidis, and then a 4-1 win against Crusaders in the Cup. Morgan Griffiths with the penalty before Howard, McGuckin off the bench, proving his worth as a squad player, and Bayavan getting his first of the season. Then a 7-1 against Undala. We were pretty strong in this one, it must be said. 4 for Jordan Howard, 2 for Morgan Griffiths, and 1 late on from the penalty spot for the returning Merivale Austin. We then follow it up now with Warrenpoint and United. Our Champions League group also includes the likes of Torino, Ajax, Real Madrid, AEK, which may be winnable, and Borussia Mönchengladbach, Lyon and Newcastle. So I'm looking for results and I'm thinking, well, maybe Lyon at home, we were close with them 2 years ago in the knockouts. Maybe AEK away because the Northern Irish League is now more reputable than the Greek one. Other than that, it's going to be pretty tricky, isn't it? We've just got to try and sneak through to that round of 32. Let's go and get through the tactical meeting. We will go strong against Warrenpoint. We're still building up the fitness for a lot of the lads because I made the decision consciously to go a bit lighter in pre-season this year. With later qualifiers, I thought, let's just ease them in rather than coming into the game with knackered players because we do plenty of playing during the season. If we have a look at the team today, you can see there's a couple of unhappy players. One of them is Klaus Bayervang. He's unhappy that we didn't sign a new goalkeeper because Morgan Hassim rejected us. We offered him 12 grand a week to be the joint highest paid player with him, and he said no chance at all. So that was that one done. And then Chris Houston in midfield, he wanted to join Motherwell, who was one of many players that got big offers from other clubs. We didn't get a good enough one though. We said we'd sell him for 2 million, and we only got about 1.2 in the end. The rest of it, well, it was a little surprising on deadline day. Cowan's biggest offer was 3.5. I said if we got 5, we'd sell him. But he's on fire at the minute. I wonder if that will stop now the window's shut. Jordan Gash, we got an offer of up to 8 million from Southampton, but not quite enough for me to agree to sell. If we get 10 million, again, even at 22, that kid will be off as well. And then Mark Scully, not a big offer at all, which is why he's still here. We've got the youngster Freeman on the bench. I'm still getting Houston football. And Vladimir is just coming back from a knock. Elliot has been out as well. We're struggling to keep wingers fit. As you know, that's very much been the theme of the last couple of seasons. And the only player who's not in the team state aside from that is Miles Stow, who had to play a left back during the international break with our reserve team because Kyle Cart was away with Northern Ireland. He'll get the start today. So this is our 11 in full. It's Morrison between the sticks. We've got Kyle Cart and Gavin Reid at fullback with Davis and Bird centre half. Bayervang and Gash the midfield two with Cowan and Missalidis out wide. And then Merivale Austin behind Scully up front. And hopefully we'll be in a position to rest people at the hour mark. Well, 5 changes for Warrenpoint. Our former man Chris Johnston is skipper on the left wing for them. They've got another Chris Johnston on the bench as well. That must get confusing. The rest of the team we don't know a great deal about, but they're okay. They're a solid team at this level. So let's go and get through to the first half, ask the team to impress us, and let's be honest about it, while they are a decent side, this should be a comfortable win. There are levels between this opposition, and look at that, a packed away ends. The home crowds are going up, the away following is too. It's been a good start for Warrenpoint, but we aim to firmly put them in their place today. Lana and Linfield have both got home games, Lana already won up. As Cowan comes down the right, we are on the front foot immediately. Does Kennedy foul him? Apparently not. He then gives the ball back to Bayervang. Cleared away by Foreign, and it's a long one downfield. Huge pitch at Warrenpoint. Is it out to Massalidis on the left, into Mark Scully. Forgetting names as we get excited in attack. But Mark Scully gives us the lead. It's only taken 6 minutes. This could now be a bloodbath. Well, Johnston has picked up an injury as we return 10 minutes in with Bird in possession to Bayervang. Finds Cowan in the midfield area, who drifted in central but is now charging down the right. Space to run into because it is a wide pitch and it's a big cross to the back post floated. Missalidis heads wide. It's still 1-0, but it does look like we're going to be completely dominant as we're back at the other end. Merivale Austin flying into a tackle and not winning it. Ball into the box from Warrenpoint. A bit of danger briefly. Cowan heads it away as far as McDonnell. He turns inside. Good football to Casement. Warrenpoint starting to push forward here. It's a through ball to Neil. Might be 1-1. It is 1-1. There's a way to shut an arrogant manager up. In behind, big ball over the top. Not dealt with by Davis. And Warrenpoint are level with their first chance of the match, and Linfield have just gone ahead to put the pressure on. Oh, it's a disaster, I've got to be honest. I'm going to demand a bit more here because we've not played too well. Oh no. Oh no, it's unravelling. We're having one of those games. Two-footed lunge, red cards. This really is problematic. We're going to have to be quite careful as we confirm the changes. I'm not going to change personnel for now. It's not going to be far away. We're going to drop to balance so we can play on the counter. But we might be about to drop our first points of the season, and it's been so unnecessary from a dominant position. No, we've still got the quality on the pitch to win this, even with 10. As Cowan gets down the right. Hopefully Warrenpoint will push a bit more and we'll get to take advantage. But for now, Cowan getting caught out by Proudfoot. And it looks like we're going to be held and a man down when it gets to half-time. 1-1 is the score. Warrenpoint will be thrilled because for them, it's a chance to get a point against a big scalp in the league and a bonus in their push for the European places as Neil gets the ball from a long ball. Davis heads it away as far as Bird. He can bring it over halfway. This is where we're looking for that run. It's a big pitch. Scully can get in behind as Cowan comes down the right. Support behind him from Reed. Bird is there as well. Finds Maraval Austin. He carries the ball forward. Great ball to Misselidis. There's the quality. Maraval Austin in a deeper midfield role. Apparently he can't play there. Looked like he's got the vision to do it for me. What a through ball that is. It is 2-1 to Lisburn Distillery. And now we've got a free kick on the right with Reed. Can we wrap this up? Misselidis again. Headed over. It should have been 3. We're creating chances and now we are getting that space in behind on the counter. We're not going to go too defensive yet, but we will make changes in a minute. I just don't want to give away an equaliser again. We've seen what can happen when there's only one goal in it. As Maraval Austin carries the ball away. We've got to be aware of United in 4 days as well. As Cowan comes down the right towards the byline unmarked. Good ball in for Scully. Game over. An hour gone on the clock exactly, and Mark Scully puts it in for 3-1. Let's make some changes and look after people now. I'm going to bring off both of the midfield too. We'll bring on Lonsdale and Houston. In fact, I'm going to go for Dunn rather than Houston today. I feel it's the sort of game where we could do with that. I'm going to bring off Trevor Davis on a yellow for Mackenzie. I'm going to bring on Freeman at right back for Reed because we've got to keep getting in football. And then off the left, it would be Misselidis, and I'm going to bring Vladimir on. In fact, I'll save that a while because I don't want to end up with 9 men if we get an injury. So we'll give it 10 more before changes made. Well, here we are on the right-hand side again just a minute later as Cowan puts the ball in. Penalty kick. I mean, it's all going our way now as Mark Scully steps up, sends the keeper the wrong way. Warrenpoint are unravelling, and this is the problem. Because they're playing 10, they've gone more aggressive, just like our assistant has told us to go very defensive. There's no level of respect for the opposition. It's just, oh, it's 11v10 now. You better be more aggressive. As Kyle Carr gets it on the left. I don't know why the camera keeps zooming out at the start of highlights. As Mackenzie finds Lonsdale. He plays back to the centre half. Had a great start, Lonsdale, but does have a few struggles with fitness again. And maybe just the style of play. A bit like Bayavang when he first joined. As Dunn makes it 5. Tell you what Lonsdale has got, though. He's got the passing range. Because the problem here is that Lonsdale is playing such a more aggressive game than he's used to, that he's just running out of steam really quickly in matches. I will make another change in a minute because it doesn't matter if we have 9 now. We're still going to win this game. As Gullier gets it on the right, back to Murray. He carries it forward over the top. Neil loses the header. Mackenzie doing well, but it falls for Casement and White into Kyle Carr, who clears away. And Misselidis will hopefully deal with it. He does. Back to Carr again. Acres of space. Warrenpoint, you can see, loads forward, so there's that big ball over the top. Scully will get there. Can we get support? From the right-hand side, Cowan's going, as is Misselidis behind on the left. Big ball into Damien Dunn. Oh, it's magic. It is absolutely magic. Going down to 10 has galvanised us. And we now look superb. I'm going to give Scully a rest instead now. On will come Jordan Howard. We'll save Vladimir because there's no point worrying about that. What a performance it's been with 10. Now we'll just see the game out, please. Well, we've done exactly that, to be fair. We're back in the final 10 minutes, but Warrenpoint are on the attack. They've got 2-on-1 here. The goalkeeper's stranded. I mean, what on earth is he supposed to do with that? The defence is all over the place. We're done over the top. And it's 6-2. I'm not going to complain too much. It's full time. It is a 6-2 victory. It's a suspension for Bayavang, and I've got to make a decision on him in midweek, with him being unhappy at the minute. But a very good win, an important result. Now it's on to the bright lights of Old Trafford and Manchester United. Back in a minute for that one. Well, here we go. Fitness test time ahead of Manchester United away. A very different experience to Warrenpoint 4 days later. Paul Elliott apparently can do 45 minutes, but he'll be left out. We'll worry about him at the weekend because in 2.5 days we play Crusaders. Now, it's not a bad thing. We've mentioned this before. The year we were in the Champions League, we had a lot less fixture congestion. And Linfield, well, they're going to be the side that struggle with it this year. So I'm not expecting as much of a title race. Let's go and get through the fixtures though and see how we get on away at Old Trafford. We won't be going positive in this game, I can assure you. We're going to close down loads. We're going to have a look for changes. And this is the team we've gone for. Stowell in for Carr, who drops to the bench. Other than that, the same 11 that beat Warrenpoint. And yes, we're sticking with Bayervang. We'll see how he gets on in this one. Through to the first half we go. Well, it's 4 changes for the host today. So they're going fairly strong to their Premier League squad. And a lot of low squad numbers in as well, which probably means it's a pretty strong team. We've also got to bear in mind the fact that they've got a very good side with 16 years gone. They've not got the originals, obviously. And they've not got the mid-table look that they had when we ended up there in the head coach. So we're going to drop some balanced. Of course, we're not going to be that aggressive. The high defensive line is a big risk, and we're probably going to drop it slightly. We have to play a different style of game here, or we're going to get absolutely battered. We're almost going back to what we were doing 3 or 4 years ago. Let's get through the tunnel interview into the first half. The Champions League music, we don't need that today. Let's go through to the first 45. That's no Europa League theme tune, is it? Well, I've just noticed something else which might coincidentally help the nation, which is you can see in the screen here, Derry City are in the Champions League group stage. Yes, they're losing at Hajduk Split, but Derry City are a side in the Irish League, the Republic of Ireland leagues, but they get a lot of youth players from Northern Ireland who become homegrown in the nation. It's a political thing, I'm not getting into it, but Derry City will produce youngsters that we can poach, and they've got one at the minute who we'd like to sign before next summer if we can. So them being in the Champions League is a good thing for Northern Ireland, even if it doesn't look like it from the outset as a neutral. As Stowell gets the ball on the left into Gash. Through ball to Misselidis. Holds it up and cuts inside the Stowell. It's a good start on the ball. And don't forget, we've got a decent Premier League team. We're probably like your bottom of the table Norwich or whatever from a few years ago. So on a 1 in 100 day, we can beat them if they're arrogant. As Merrival Austin's in, it's been forced wide by a very physical defender. Cross to Scully though, hits the post. It doesn't matter what the level of opposition is. If you put in a cross to a 6'8" striker, he's got a chance. United are dominating the stats, but we've not seen them attacking the highlights. And Derry City have equalised. There you go. Approaching half-time, if we can come out of here having been outplayed with a 0-0, it would be one of our greatest results in our history. We've got to the halfway point with it. We're going to tell the lads to keep this up. This has been a monumental effort so far. You would suggest United might get one before too long because they are dominant, but they are offering some gaps in behind still as Bayervang. Can we force them to get more and more desperate as we go along? I don't know about that. I'm probably being optimistic as United bring it away. Over the halfway line, Vanna carries it a long way. Reed does really well defensively and goes back to Morrison. Big hoof over the top. And nobody's going to get there. United keeping the ball. They're having a territory. We knew all that. But we are really holding our own. Big ball up to Dominguez. Headed away, only as far as Teekman. He gets it on the left. Dominguez in. The number 9's through. It's a great block from Davis. Jim Morrison was caught in no man's land. And Davis saves the day. Corner kick though. We've still got defending to do. We're trying our zonal system still. It's worked generally. And Miles Dow gets it clear. It's out for a throw on the right-hand side. And we're still 0-0 at Old Trafford. We've not had a shot on target. We're having to play a horrible way compared to what we normally do. But at the moment, it's working. Just as Steinmetz gets it on the left. Through ball. Oh, it's deflected over by Davis. He's made the challenge again. Really good work from him at the back. He's getting in the right positions to make those blocks. But if you look at this team now, we've got 6 on a yellow. We've got some really struggling performers. And now we're a goal down. The big number 9's up at the back stick just after I praised our defending of set pieces. And Teichmann makes it 1-0. On the hour mark, United go ahead. And we probably have to start looking at changes soon because there are some tired legs out there who have been chasing the ball all day. As Hewitt gets the ball to tap. He looks in behind. It's a big ball over the top of Stowell. Steinmetz get there. Just don't get sent off. Back to Vivas. Good ball in. Teichmann's header. Off the woodwork and off the line. Davis is the man there again. It's game over now because we don't have a goal threat. But I've got to protect us from red cards as Morrison goes long over the top to Misselidis. Vivas intercepts it. Not got that physical advantage against these guys. The Steinmetz on the right-hand side beats his man. Chance to cross from the byline. There's loads in the box. Wanner's one of them. Back to Vivas. Chance to shoot. Deflects into Teichmann. And he heads just wide, actually. I thought it was in. I was fooled because the subs graphic came up. I thought it was a goal one. We've got a quarter of the game to go. I'm going to leave Bayervang on because he's suspended for the weekend. Jordan Gash will come off for Damien Dunn. He made an impact, didn't he, when he came on at the weekend. Cowan's had a poor game. Misselidis is knackered. Vladimir will get a few minutes. What I am going to do is bring on Mackenzie for Bird, who's had a bit of a stinker. Who can I do on the right-hand side? My options are Lonsdale, Howard. I might go Jordan Howard just to keep it safe. And I'm going to do that because he's focused. I don't want to bring on the nervous lads. 4 changes again. I don't want to end the game with 10. We'll give it another 10 minutes before making the last one. As Gavin Reed's got a corner. Can we smash and grab it? No, we can't. It's headed away. Davis loses out. We've just not got the physical edge in this game. So Reed on the right. We're still pressing forward. Good effort here. Damien Dunn. Oh! Goes from distance himself. It's just over the bar, but it was worth a go. And United's keeper was scrambling a bit as Joanne McClear's downfield. United beating our press, which most teams in the Irish Prem can't do. Steinmetz gets through easily, but Vladimir's nicked it. The substitute is back. He's one of our best players. He's not quite fit enough to beat him for legs, which normally he probably would be. As Hewitt finds Hagen. He's our Northern Ireland international. I completely forgot about him. Gavin Hagen is in the United team. Oliveira switches it. Here is Hagen. Flicks down for Hewitt. Through ball towards Teichmann, the goal scorer. Currently the match winner as it stands. Finds Hagen again. Hewitt through to Teichmann. I completely forgot our best international player was here. Big ball over the top for Scully. Loses out. Why are you ducking? You're 6'8". Natinho carries it forward. Mackenzie intercepts. Howard brings the ball away. Good footwork. Here's Bayervang. He's lost the ball and it's going to be 2-0. Teichmann's in. Great lob. Oh, off the post. He deserved a goal there. I can't lie. Free kick Manchester United. The voice is going. It's going to be 2-0, I think. Well, here it is. Must be 27 yards out because the defensive wall is just in the box. As Morrison makes a very good save up to his right, in fairness. 20 minutes remaining. I'm looking for the final sub. And I don't really know where to go with it. It will probably be either Bayervang or Stout. As Vanna gets it on the left, it's cleared away. And it stays just 1-0 for now. But still no shot on target. We've got a corner with Vladimir to the back post. Davis up, loses out again. Bayervang picks it up on the wide area. Forced back to halfway. Reed will start again. Big switcher play to Vladimir. It's undercooked. Natinho away to Ligura. Teichmann gets it forward. Natinho carries it over the halfway line. Finds Ligura again and wide to Steinmetz. Plenty of space to run into. Options getting up in the box. He can find the cross. No, he can't. Back to Ligura. Back to Hagen. Into Teichmann. Back to Steinmetz. Hagen. Into the box. Is cleared away. Pinball again. Wanma can't get there, but it is all United. And we're just seeing highlight after highlight of attacking play. Oh, Howard has nicked the ball on the halfway line. Finds Maraval Austin. Go on. Ball in. He's offside. Vladimir misses. If it had found Scully, we would have been all right. But it's offside. Maraval Austin is unfortunately knackered. He will be the final sub. We're going to bring on Rowan Lonsdale. We'll push Bayervang up to the number 10. Lonsdale will go in as that playmaker. We saw his big diagonal passing range last game. We've got 10 minutes to find a goal. We're trying to play on the counter. United still being risky, showing us no respect at the back. But they're getting through as well. O'Dunn's nicked it to Mackenzie. Oh, it would be amazing after getting pasted all game if we could nick a point. I don't think we're going to. Lonsdale wins it. Vladimir beats his man. He's in. Vladimir. Oh, there we go. 1-1 at Old Trafford. Vladimir off the bench back to fitness. Lonsdale sets it up. Damien Dunn, another sub, won the ball on halfway. Oh, it is a smash and grab of all proportions. United have had 20 shots. They should have been out of sight. They only scored 1, and now they're living to pay for it, or are they? Because Hagen, our international star, is overlapping down the right. Davis is there yet again to clear. He's been magnificent. 6.8 does not do him justice. As Vladimir gets down the left, it can't get better, can it? Edge of the box to Dunn. Wanna heads away, and now the game's end to end because United are desperate. They're leaving themselves open. Stow picks it up. I mean, this is the argument that no one can have. It's the league loaded from the start. It's one of the biggest teams in the world. They've got stars galore, and they're in. They're going to score. Carter. Oh, I got excited for a minute. We're getting closer to these big boys. Well, I've just checked as we reach full time at 2-1, and both players who scored for United are classed as elite. But we are now very happy with that display. A 2-1 defeat at United. We adapted tactically. We got it right on the counter. And defensively, we did look pretty good. A 2-1 defeat isn't the worst result in the world. We're going to have to find points from tricky games here. And I'm hoping that a couple of those games against the likes of Lyon, we've now progressed enough to get a result. Let's go and have a look at the schedule for when it's going to be back. But a really good effort at Old Trafford. And it's not going to get any easier next time because we are going to be back around the start of November. I've got to show you Real Madrid coming to Distillery, haven't I? They've got Jurrien Timber, who's not been registered for the squad, but must be mid-30s now. And then I might show you his former club Ajax before as well. But Real Madrid in the next episode is a definite. If you're looking forward to it and you did enjoy this one, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know what you thought of the performance and the adapting of our tactical style at Old Trafford. If you want to stay up to date with the season, subscribe and turn that notification bell on. We've got our new save with Bristol City back tomorrow. Loads of content from the podcast up in the eye above. The Twitch channel's there too for regular live streams, including tonight for the opener of the Premier League season. Thank you to HelloFresh for supporting as always. Link for them in the top of the description. And thank you for watching as always. I'll see you back here next time as we welcome Real Madrid to Northern Ireland.